The Second Amendment. People argue about it like it's an antique sentence somebody forgot to erase from an old document. They talk about it like it's a relic, something that belonged to another century and has no place in this one. But freedom doesn't have an expiration date. The men who wrote those words had just learned, firsthand, what happens when power becomes absolute. They understood something human nature hasn't changed enough to forget. Governments are made of people, and people can become corrupt, frightened, ambitious, or cruel. The Constitution wasn't written because they believed government would always be good. It was written because they knew it might not be. That's why the language matters. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Not because every citizen needs to be a soldier. Not because every gun owner is a hero. And certainly not because a firearm magically makes someone responsible or moral. It matters because self-defense is the most basic responsibility a person can have. When someone breaks through your door at 3 in the morning, your life doesn't become less valuable because the police are still 10 minutes away. When disaster knocks out the power, the phones, and the systems people depend on, you're still responsible for protecting yourself and the people you love. A firearm isn't a substitute for courage, judgment, or responsibility. It's a tool. And like every powerful tool, it demands discipline. But here's where I draw the line. I will not accept the idea that exercising a constitutional right should require begging permission from the government. I will not accept the argument that ordinary, law-abiding citizens should surrender their ability to defend themselves because criminals refuse to obey the law. The Second Amendment isn't about worshiping guns. It's about refusing to worship power. It's a reminder that government doesn't grant our fundamental rights. Government is supposed to protect them. You don't have to own a firearm. You don't have to like firearms. But if you believe freedom belongs to the individual, then you should understand why the Second Amendment matters. Because once a right becomes a privilege granted only to those in power, it isn't really a right anymore.